Host here, Chris Swick. Welcome to From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success. On today's episode, I have unknown Mizery, and he's coming to me from Vancouver. Grateful to have him on the show today and stuff. So, yeah, if you could let us know a little bit about yourself, unknown there, please and thank you.
Yes. Well, respect for having me on the show, man. Well, I go as Unknown Mizery. That's my my music name since I started creating rap music. And so that's I go as Unknown Mizery. I have different names that I also go by. I'm creating different things with my birth name, which is Siraf Deb. I'm creating different things such as beats and stuff now under the name King Diamond Tut. But Unknown Mizery is I would say the brand and the energy that I create music under.
Nice. And you're living out in Vancouver now, from what you're...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm from Toronto. I'll always be from Toronto. I represent Toronto. Nice. But I am living in Vancouver, and I love the mountains.
Nice.
And the weed.
So what was your childhood like growing up? You know, were you born and raised in Canada, or are you from somewhere else?
Yeah, no, I was born and raised in Toronto.
Yeah.
And my parents are from India.
Nice.
So I'm first generation Canadian. They came during Trudeau's dad's era, Pierre Trudeau. That's when my parents got here. Okay. All of my cousins, all of my family friends, like my aunts and uncles from the Bengali Indian community, they all came at the same time, most of them. And I'm part of like a whole batch of first generation Canadians from India here. So I was born and raised in Toronto, the West End. Rexdale is where I remember being a child. Like, I have memories being in a crib and stuff. And when I was in Rexdale, there's I could just tell you a story. There's a crazy time this guy came through. This is my memory is in Rexdale, like my youngest memory. This crazy dude came through from downstairs and he got mad that we were making noise upstairs. I was really young. I was sharing a crib with my cousin. Oh, but we were like driving those like Flintstone style plastic bikes, we're driving around the living room. So he got mad with the noise. He came upstairs and he was screaming, like saying he's gonna take us. Like I heard him saying it. I was scared. And then he came back up. We got put in the crib because my parents got scared. And then the dude came back upstairs after with like a big like trolley to bring us on or some shit.
What?
And then my dad and my uncle beat the shit out of him. And then that's why Unknown Mizery is still here. But I don't know. That was just a random side story. But
no, that's awesome, man. That's good. That's good to let the audience know how it was growing up in Toronto and stuff like that. So how do you say your relationship was with your family growing up? Was it good, bad? Did you have its ups and downs sort of thing, struggles?
It has its ups and downs, man. When I was young, when I was like a child, preteens, it was great. My relationship was great. I lived with my mom and my dad. Very loving, kind people. I'm very blessed. As I get older, I see how blessed I am on that aspect. I didn't realize it at the time. But yeah, I've been very lucky to have loving parents, and then caring parents who looked out for me. Though we lived in poverty, I didn't even realize we lived in poverty. Like that's how it was, And then when I was in my teens, finding my own identity of who I am, I'm not a Bengali kid from Calcutta. I was born in Toronto. I grew up at Keele and Lawrence. That's where I did most of my growing up, 1440 Lawrence Avenue West. And it was like I ended up getting involved in a lot of shit, just by your surroundings, man. It's like your friends are wearing blue bandanas. You kind of end up wearing blue bandanas,
Yeah.
And they're doing some dirt. You're right there. You're automatically involved in the dirt, And it's like, but while growing up, most of my friends the majority of the people in my neighborhood would always look at me and be like, yo, come kick a cipher and get out of this issue. Bounce before you get in trouble. Make music. That was their thing. But with my parents, they seen that moment as like a scary moment. And then the first time I actually got charged, my dad bailed me out. He was right there, picked me up. After the bail situation was done and my house arrest was done, I ended up getting kicked out of my house.
Oh, wow.
And that's when like my relationship with my parents changed. But I believe
what age was that at?
That was at 16.
Oh, wow.
So I say it was because it was tough love. It's like they didn't understand really what to do coming
Yeah.
from one society to a next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's really what it was. But yeah, I bet at the end of the day, now growing up, the relationship had its ups and downs on that level because I was also growing up and they were dealing with it. And but now I'd say I'm, you know what I mean? I'm grateful for my folks. They're still here. You know, my mom and dad are still in Toronto. I have a
Nice.
sister. My sister has
She lives in Toronto as well. You get along
she
well with her?
oh yeah, me and my sister get along great. We're 8 years apart. When I was young, I used to like tear her like Backstreet Boys posters down and stuff like that.
Didn't want to see that shit in the house, eh?
Yeah. I used to threaten her of causing violence upon what's that dude from Backstreet Boys? Nick Carter.
Yeah, Nick Carter.
I was a kid, man. So I was
Yeah,
just like talking shit. But me and my sister are real blessed. Like she's one of my best friends, man. And she's
Awesome,
my younger
man.
sister, but teaches me a lot. She just had a baby,
Nice,
Araya.
man.
I'm a new
That's
uncle.
awesome. Congrats on that.
Yeah, man.
So how was it like going to school in such a diverse community in Toronto there and stuff like that with all the commotion and everything going on? I guess when you were growing up, I think you're around my age, so
Yeah. I'm fucking 38.
there you go, a year older than me.
And it's growing up in Toronto, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna go back and forth. So when I'm answering the questions, I might answer back and forth. If you want me to stick to the timeline, I can too.
No, that's fine, man. It's all good, buddy.
Because to me, I'm looking at parallels, and with that question, I'm like, yo, I didn't realize how multicultural Toronto is. Because Toronto is a multicultural. Like Canada's not multicultural, Toronto is. And
For sure.
and
Why do you say that? Why do you say just Toronto?
because everywhere you go, people are kind of in their little cliques regardless. It's like, I don't know. I just feel
Fair
like,
enough.
and also like go anywhere else, even beyond their cliques, go anywhere else. The food in any city will almost explain the demographic in the city, right? You go anywhere else in the world, in Canada, it's like, you know how hard it is to find some real jerk chicken? It's
I hear
like,
you, brother. I hear you.
you know,
I'm not going to name names of a restaurant, but I tried a new restaurant the other day, but I will never go back there again. You know,
yeah, you know what I mean?
it's hard to find that good authentic food sometimes in some
Yeah,
cities. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And I feel like the food will show you what the city is made up of, you know?
yes,
So that's where I could see how Toronto is very multicultural. But to me, the experience I had is it was great. I I grew up with friends from everywhere. My building was mostly West Indian and Sri Lankan people and Spanish
okay,
folks, and a bunch of Scotians would come through. Scotians in Canada have
yeah,
their own race. We already know that. You know what I mean?
the
So the
Cape
Scotians would
Bretoners.
come through, you know?
Yeah,
And it's like, and that would be our cipher there. But at the end of the day, in my schools that I went to, especially my first school, York Memorial at Keele and Eglinton, that was like multicultural. I had friends from all backgrounds, all walks of life. We all got along. You know what I
it's
mean?
amazing, man.
I
Yeah,
ate all sorts of food again. It all boils down to food. You know, I'm a fat guy. You know what I mean? I like my food. But it's like, yeah, no, it was beautiful. And at the same time, I started seeing the division with gangs. You know, a lot of the gangs would have divisions, and that's when I started noticing more of the division. You know, and that's really what it was. When I went to schools, it wasn't like that until I got kicked out and I went to Nelson A. Boylan by Falstaff. You know, then I went to, well, before that I went to Bathurst Heights for a minute. But like all those schools had a whole different demographics, man. Bathurst Heights was basically, you know, a lot of African kids who
okay,
were who are like Bloods,
yeah.
you know, and there was like a lot of, when I went to Falstaff, Nelson A. Boylan, that was all Crips,
Oh
you know,
wow.
maybe a
So it was
few
like one or the
Gators.
other, eh? Didn't if you're at that school, you're that side. If you're at that other school, you're at the other side, eh?
Oh yeah, at Bathurst, like I wasn't even involved in shit. I was just like a product of where I was born. For
Yeah.
moments, I thought, honestly, man, for moments when I was young, I'm like, yeah, I'm a cool gangster, but I'm not a gangster, man. And it's
No,
like
for sure.
it didn't even take me long to figure that out. But that doesn't mean I'm not a product of. I bet I'm not a product of my environment, but that doesn't mean I'm not influenced by
Yeah,
it,
for
right?
sure. So,
So
like, at what age did you decide that you really were going to take this, hip hop or music seriously?
I was lucky. So we used to have ciphers. It all started with ciphers. We
Yeah,
used to go by Emmett
just
all the
kicking
time.
freestyles, eh?
Yo, Jane and Emmett. I'm gonna name these blocks right now. Jane and Emmett.
Nice. Let's get them out there.
From Jane and Emmett, after we'd cipher, we'd have our own cipher, and we used to call it Alcatraz back then. And
Why'd you name it that?
These other brothers named it that, man. It's not a lot of good-minded brothers.
Yeah.
That were involved in it, but it was. I guess it just made sense. We were trapped. Like you go by Emmett Ave. It's like to get out, you got to go through the ravine. Once you're on that street, you're on that street. There's really no way out.
Oh, okay. It's like a one way in and one way out sort of deal, eh?
Yeah, you got to pass the
just
buildings.
like Alcatraz, then.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, what was the next spot? I forgot. What was the question? I even forgot.
Oh, I was just asking, like, what were you? So it was like, so what? At what age did you get into music? Was the original question. So, like,
yes, I don't know why I'm giving such a long-winded answer, but I just wanted to say,
hey, man, the audience.
You're good, right?
Yeah.
All right. To me, it started with the ciphers. I just wanted to show the importance of it. You know, it was ciphers. It wasn't writing anything down. It was like just the cipher and the culture of it. Because then after that, we'd walk from Alcatraz to Tathui by TGK, and we'd have a cipher there. I met a brother named Decisive in grade 9. He's a Canadian legend, you know, Decisive. And we were in a group called Soldiers of Fortune in grade 9. Me, Decisive. These brothers right now that they go by the name of CON, Creatures of the Night. Okay. That was like Ludacris and Shakespeare. Ludacris, Shakespeare, a brother named Marlon, me, and Decisive. We were Soldiers of Fortune.
Nice.
You know, so he brought us, we made that group in school. So we started performing in school, blah, blah, blah. And it was just a school thing. We were friends. And then we took it serious because of Decisive, man. He introduced us to Brent from Just Entertainment, a management group that we were a part of when we were 13. All of us were 13.
Wow, that's crazy.
I still didn't take it seriously. I had the management group with these guys. I still didn't take it seriously. We went to our first show at the Big Bot. I thought I was a big man, so I bought a Growlers or something like that. And then obviously at 13, I looked like a child, but I thought I looked like a big man. And the security came and they said, yo, you got to perform and leave. So that's how young we were, but we did a bunch of shit. But after that, fast forward, one day Decisive after school, I think it was grade 10, he's like, yo, don't tell anyone. Come to my house. I got something for you. I'm like, all right. I just went to his house. He had a small joint for me. I'll never forget. He didn't even smoke it. He gave it to me. He's like, here's this beat. Write to it, man. 2-8 bars. And I wrote Childhood's End in like half an hour.
And that was when you were 13 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
And no. That was like 13, 14. So I know, you know what? That was probably grade 11.
Oh, okay.
Right? I believe if my timeline's right, man, I'm trying to.
It's all good, man.
I'm getting old, bro. You start losing it at 35. I'm forgetting shit. But then that was my time I started taking it seriously, man, because we went to DJ Serious's house that night. We did that song. He liked my shit, and he gave me a beat called For Trapdoors. And then I wrote to Trapdoors. I recorded it, and he put it on a vinyl, put it on Fat Beat Records. He put it on Groove Attack. Got distributed worldwide. All of a sudden, I'm a kid going from like performing at Planet Mars to like performing like at big things back then. Elemental at Comfort Zone.
Nice. You know,
with the
I remember that place. Not for good times some days, but
yeah.
Comfort Zone.
Yeah, that place had a lot of parties going on, man.
Oh yeah. Nice.
But that was like when I took it serious, man. So Decisive and meeting DJ Serious, man. Him getting my shit distributed.
And so are those guys still around to this day, or do you still talk to them, or?
I still talk to Decisive every once in a while. It's seldom, but that's my brother for life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's just, you know, if anyone listening, check out his music if you haven't. But he's like, if you like underground Canadian hip hop,
I'll have to definitely check him out. I've probably heard him in some of your songs over the years, but
you have, man. Once you hear him, you'll love his shit.
Yeah,
and he has a story. You know, his life has a story. His music has a story.
Nice.
He just got out of rehab.
That's awesome, man.
He's doing well. Last I spoke.
Up and up, then, eh?
Yeah, man.
So who were your musical influences growing up, and why? Why did you choose those influences?
Okay. Nas.
Nice. I like that one.
Wu-Tang.
Oh.
Boot Camp. That's what I would say.
Back then. Let us know about Boot Camp. I know about the other two. What's Boot Camp?
I like Helter Skelter, like Sean P's Click.
Yeah.
You know, Duck Down Records, basically.
Okay, okay.
It's a boot camp clique, like all of them. Okay, so this is why. Nas was an amazing storyteller, and a lyricist and a storyteller. Wu-Tang had all of these vibes in it, like all of them together. They're all so different, but Wu-Tang itself, the core members, and even like Sons of Man, the breakups, everything related to Wu-Tang at that time, it had knowledge. It made me feel empowered to have knowledge coming where I come from, and not feeling like knowledge or reading a book was nerdy. It made it cool.
For
It
sure.
made it gangster. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
helped me. It helped me in like my false manhood that I was trying to create for myself.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I needed that toughness. So it was like that helped me be tough, but still be the nerd that I kind of am, Because if you hear their music a lot, like, yeah, they live some real lives when you see their movies, their documentaries and all that. But it's like their music has so much knowledge in it.
Oh, for sure. They all have like a story behind it. Like each song, like you can feel yourself in it. Like that one
Definitely,
in
man.
particular about Nas really gets me every time is when he's talking about packing his heat, and it's going into the club with him. You know exactly what track I'm
Yeah, when
talking
he's the
about.
gun.
But yeah, when he's the gun, but you can just really envision yourself as being that gun,
Yeah,
It's
for
just
real, man.
so well said and so well done, man.
I just love how he visual makes things visual. And like,
Yeah.
to be honest, I feel like I've definitely taken a page out of that to
Nice,
make
man.
things visual when I write. And then boot camp, because all of them together have a vibe. They just have a vibe. Like they just bring you to the dungeon.
Yeah.
Like they just bring you there. And that's it. So all three combined to me would be the super MC. So
Nice.
that's who I aspire to be.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like I was reading in an article I found about you, like you witnessed lots of police brutality, you were saying, in one interview. So like could you enlighten us a little bit on that, or if you wish
Yeah.
not to, that's fine, man. Like
Yeah,
I've
I
heard of
could.
lots of things over the years too myself, in many different cities all over the world. So
No, definitely, man. I'm down to talk about that for sure. Well, police brutality is like everywhere. It happens on different levels. It happens on different levels with different people. And
oh yeah.
and but it's just power. You give anybody that much power and authority over someone, it's just in us, man. We're a destructive species. So you give us that power, we will destroy with it. Like we want to destroy what we love. Like that study that my girl actually told me about it, a study that where it's like, and it's stuck in my head, where when we see like babies, why do we want to squeeze babies? Because they're just so cute and we don't know what to do with things we love so much and we want to destroy it. It was
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so that's the problem with police. So I'm not saying all of them go in it for the bad reason, but once you turn a blind eye and you don't complain about anyone in your division after 1 year of working there, you're somewhat corrupted and breaking the law, because you've seen one of your fellow officers break the law, guaranteed.
Oh, for
So,
sure.
so the police brutality I seen, I say I used to do my shit. I got caught for a lot of shit, didn't get caught for a lot of shit. But then the one time I did get caught, they dropped. First, they said I had counterfeit money. I didn't. I had marijuana on me, man. I didn't have counterfeit money on me. This was when I was in Toronto. I was selling CDs on the street. And it
Yeah.
was, and while I was selling CDs on the street to make a living, I was out on the street every day from 11 a.m., to 5 p.m. I got on Much News for it. I made a living. I made hundreds of dollars a day. The group Empire would make hundreds of dollars a day, and Cryogenics, Georgie Porgy and all those guys. It was just our block, We were on Queen Street selling CDs, not drugs. And it
Nice,
was
man.
and it was like, so we made money, but I was handing out pamphlets that say when police terrorize, what to do step by step. Because I see people in my community getting pulled over on the way home at night. I'm not nervous about someone shooting me. I'm nervous about a cop car behind me, and I shouldn't be. So it's like, I handed out pamphlets that say when police terrorize, what to do. We had an email address so they could email us and give us either the badge number or the squad car number, the time the incident happened when they were pulled over, what they were doing and how they emotionally felt before they were approached, how they felt during, and how they felt after. And we wanted to create a database to find the police that are repeat offenders, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
terrorizing the community. And I believe it's something for that, but it might not be also, because at that moment I did have trees on me, you know? And
Yeah.
I was selling trees to people at that time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this one guy came, I got stopped, I had trees on me, but then he tried to charge me with counterfeit money and tried to put crack cocaine in my pocket. You
Yeah,
know what
it's
I mean?
crazy. You see that lots. Like I've watched lots
Yeah.
of videos over the years too, just more in the States, you see it more and more, but like when they just put things in their pocket, you know, while they're down, and then it's there all of a sudden, but it wasn't there 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Just stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know. So it's
Yo,
crazy.
in trial, sorry, bro, in trial, just to prove the point to the listeners, because everyone says they're innocent, but in trial, like they couldn't even pull out the video of them because they put the thing in my pocket while they were doing my intake at
Yeah.
52 division. So there's a camera there. That camera video was missing because I told my lawyer what happened, and the video from the elevator where I was roughed up was missing.
Oh yeah, it's funny how
Right?
that goes missing, eh?
Yeah. So it's like, and Greenspan, I had Greenspan's office as my lawyer, 10 grand in,
Yeah.
you know? So a lot of people wouldn't do that, you know? But it was like, that's my experience. I've seen them kill people out in like Killer P. This brother named Killer P, he actually organized the first, but he's an MC and an organizer in Greece. And he
Yeah.
organized the first Babylon War Child show in Greece ever. He
Nice.
brought
Was
us
this
out there.
recently or a while ago?
This was in 2012.
Okay, okay.
And after that show, when we went back, because we perform with a bunch of that, like the people we perform out there they're organizers, you know, a lot of Antifa, but Antifa out there is different, you know.
Yeah.
And we ended up doing that show. A different political party, because of the shows he was doing, ended up killing him. A political party came, brought the political party hooligans and the police, and they actually killed the MC Killer P from Athens, Greece. Every year, there's a protest in Athens, Greece, in Ixaria, where most of the supporters, friends, and family of Killer P are.
Oh wow.
And they go to. Where we go every time in Greece is we stay in Ixaria, where we're surrounded by it's like the area, you know, if you look up Ixaria. But last time we went last year, we were surrounded by riot police the whole time. So every time we have to go to our apartment, we have to cross riot police.
It's still pretty bad there, eh?
Oh, yo, there's sounds and shit popping off every night.
Yeah.
You know, rubber bullets or whatever.
That's crazy.
Cans on fire, you know, but
yeah. Yeah.
So police brutality is everywhere.
No, it's true. So what made you get into sociology in university? What pushed you that? Was it all the stuff going on before? Like you decided, hey, I want to, you know, do something for my community, give back sort of thing? What was it?
Yo, that's sick, man. This guy really knows stuff. Yo, thanks, bro. That's a really good question. I feel like no one would even ask me that. Yo, I didn't graduate. I didn't get my degree or anything. However, how I got into sociology, it was this brother named Logical Ethics. He told me about a program that was happening when I was still like around in the streets, just screaming "fuck the police," and that was counterproductive. Like I could have said that in a different way. And it was he ended up telling me there's a program called TYP, Transitional Year Program. It no longer exists. And you get into the program somewhat, for a lack of better words, through the back door. Yeah. And you go into University of Toronto and you do a few elective courses and you get credits for them. And you also you pick one course. And one of the options was equity studies. So I took equity studies. And from that, the second year, I took sociology. And I wanted to do it because equity studies started showing me that like the things I was facing on an everyday or feeling on an everyday, I was almost correct. I wasn't crazy. You know, it was like, I remember being in my first lecture, sitting at the back. Later on in my lectures, I sat in the front, but I was sitting at the back. And the professor, she starts talking and she's just saying all these things. This is the first lecture, man. I'll never forget this. And his brother beside me, I don't know him. And he's just, every time like she's saying something, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm just like, I'm younger too. I have way more energy, you know? Yeah. I'm just like, I'm trying to look for the people to understand. I see my boy Buck Hillaway. He's there and he's just like, nodding his head. I look down, I see another brother in the front. He's nodding his head. I'm like, I got to connect with all of them.
Yeah.
And it was like, but that's when I realized I got to take sociology, because I was like, yo, this shit's a game. This shit's a game. Classism's a game. Racism's a game. Sexism's a game. It all exists. It's not fake. You know what I mean?
No,
But
it's all out there in the forefront. People just choose
it.
to not see it. Lots of people. So,
And you know why a lot of people choose not to see it? Because I don't know, but I feel because a lot of people, even maybe me at times, are afraid of what can happen when you see it. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, when you see it, it's even scarier, because the person, the orchestrators of this type of thought is like, it's not natural to think like this. And these type of divisions aren't natural. So these type of divisions are orchestrated by something bigger that we can't even face. You know what I mean? It's easier to point at each other. It's easier for me to point at you or you to point at me.
no, for sure. It's
You know what I mean?
easier to point the blame. You know, instead of share the blame, we just pointed it at everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
So like my buddy, that's a good song. You should actually go check that out. My buddy, it's about sharing the blame. He just released his new single. So it's alternative, but yeah, John Maxim, man, I'd like to give a shout out to him here too, but sharing the blame, man.
Send me the link, man.
I will. But so have you had any like dark moments, you know, that led you to like addiction, battles with addiction, mental health, anxiety, depression? You know, is there a point in your life where you were in a really, really dark space?
Yeah.
Like, where did it begin?
A long point, man.
Yeah.
A long point. And I feel like little factors could always push it towards that. Different systemic factors.
Was there like one life-changing event though that drove you to that like dark space, or was there many moments?
I would say it was many moments. The main one I would say is my daughter. The situation with my daughter and not being able to handle not seeing her. There's a moment when I just couldn't.
Didn't even know you had one, man.
Yeah, I have a song coming out on the 24th. This will probably be after, but you guys will hear the song. There's a song that's out right now. It's called "For the Love of Justice," and it's on DAO Records. And you could check it out on there.
Nice, man. Thank you.
But that was one of the main moments I feel that could lead to my depression and mostly addiction. You know, addiction, trying to escape the thoughts and not dealing with it. You know, I've been understanding addiction a lot more lately. Yeah. I've been working as a mental health and addictions worker. You know what I mean?
Out in Vancouver?
Out in Vancouver, yeah.
Nice.
I've been like, but like to answer that question, because this is a deep question, you know?
Yeah.
I want to answer correctly, is with that said, there was many moments, and now later on, walking somewhat out of the fire, I could look back and still see some things that I couldn't see then, you know? And there's a lot of moments. There's moments of just the poverty where you are. You know, I'm not blaming poverty. All of my decisions are my decisions.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. And the power I have is the power I'm choosing to use, you know? But the poverty, it's like at a young time when you don't understand the powers that you can use, it can take a toll on people, you know? It takes a toll on your surroundings, the gangs, the police always harassing you, the constant PTSD, basically is what I'm saying. Growing up in a neighborhood where I grew up, the PTSD that comes out of it. No matter how tough you are or how quote unquote weak you are, the PTSD that everyone gets and doesn't even realize that affects to their, that is basically compounded on their breaking experience, which for me may have been my daughter. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say. And then after that is like, it leads to making a lot of other bad decisions, and addictions made me run away. I ran out to Toronto after dealing with my addictions. I don't know if you're going to ask me that next or if I'm going to a next question.
Hey, I'm just letting you talk, man.
But I ended up coming to Vancouver.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go to the mountains, escape, be away from people I even knew, you know?
Yeah.
And I did that. It was great. And then all of a sudden I started working in the downtown east side and doing 12-hour shifts, coming home at 8 a.m. All of a sudden after I started working the downtown east side when the fentanyl crisis started. It was
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
war, bro. It was like a war. It
It's
was
a
like,
wild, wild west out there, man. Like if I could tell anyone, man, like
yeah,
just stay away from all that shit. Like you don't even know what you're getting. Like I didn't know what I was getting when I was in my active addiction either, man.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like
It's
it's
a
a scary,
war, man.
scary world out there, man. Like and it's
Uh,
a dog eat dog world, man. Any of those drug dealers, I tell you, man, they don't have a heart. They have a black heart.
yeah,
They don't
man.
give a fuck.
They'll put more and more fentanyl in your shit. That right now, everyone just wants fentanyl.
Yeah,
That's what's happening now. It's like
yeah,
first people now they feel they know how to use it. Now, oh, you know how to use it? Let's put some benzos in it now. Now there's fentanyl and benzo mixed together. It's like, yo, it's like you don't even know if people are dying or not. It's like, so at that time there was a war going on, right? And there's so much people dying. I didn't know how it affected me. I would get sick after like a few night shifts in a row. That's when I'd finally feel sick. But to go to sleep, I would wait till the liquor store opened. I would buy liquor. I'd chug a bottle. That ended up leading to getting bags
yeah,
of cocaine.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that just became a spiral in life. I thought I was a person that at that moment, I'm good. I got no problem. You know what I mean? I got this, man. And then I do it. I know I have a problem. And then I'd be like, yo, it's good. I'm not going to do it again. You know, until
I've been down that road too many times.
I mean, I had to leave that job. I had to leave that line of work. I'm back in it now because I can handle it now, you
Yeah,
know? But I left the line of work for a little bit. I took a break. I met an amazing woman, you know what I mean? Who
nice.
like helped me come out of addiction and basically helped me come out of addiction by showing me myself a little bit more,
Yeah, man,
you
you got to
know?
learn to love yourself, I find,
Yeah.
before you can love anyone else, man. Same with me. Like, I have two kids myself too, same thing. And I was never present in their life. I was physically there, but I was never present because I was, so high all the time or just consumed in my addiction and stuff like that. So, I'm grateful for the grace of God and whatever our higher power watches over me every day, man. That I'm
Yeah,
able to
man.
have them in my life. Obviously not right now because of this pandemic, but we have technology that we can talk every day, so
100%. Bless you on that,
yeah,
bro. Yeah, man.
yeah.
Bless
So
up on that. That's what I'm
I,
saying.
so what do you do now to cope with all your, mental health and stuff like that in a positive way though?
I'll show you. You want to see actually? Let me show you. So, yo, I've been doing this.
Nice, nice.
Boom. You know?
You're going to love another upcoming guest I got on. You probably know him too, Fresh Kills.
Oh, Fresh Kills is ill, man.
Yeah, I got him
That
as a
guy's a
guest coming up too, man.
one-man band, Fresh Kills. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just got this right here, not to,
nice.
but I'm very excited. It's about to get used. It hasn't been yet.
Nice. Is that a mic or what is that? Sorry.
Yeah. That's the Aston. I'm just reading it still because I forgot. The Aston Stealth.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But
Nice.
it's basically, yeah, it's a dope mic.
Nice, man.
And
That's awesome.
I've been playing the guitar.
Nice.
I've
Actually, I've been
acoustic.
picking one up too. I just picked one up not too long ago. I'm going to teach myself over, I don't know how much more time I got off work. So I got an old acoustic guitar that I got. So the girlfriend gave me too. So
There you go, man. Do that.
yeah.
So that's what I've been doing. It's hard to write, bro. So it's hard to write sometimes
Yeah.
because I write from a different place and it has been difficult to write.
What do you mean you write from a different place? Like, what do you
I don't
mean?
know, man. It's like my spirit, man. It's like not to sound like a weird hippie, man, but it's the truth. My spirit when I'm writing,
You're
man, I
just sounding
can't.
like you, bro. You're just sounding
You
like
know,
you.
and it's like I don't know. I can't write sometimes, and it's like I can't. Yo, my old music was music for right now. And when I hear my old music, it's for right now. But right now, I don't want to put music out there for me or anyone else that doesn't bring some type of different energy or happiness or different type of thought or you know what I mean? We need to climb out of this energy right now. I created a lot of energy for Doomsday, man. My whole discography is for Doomsday.
Nice.
We're ready. You know what I mean? Like that's it. So that's what I've been doing, man. And when I can't write, I've just been like playing instruments and having fun.
So I know you don't have you do have a following in Canada, I guess North America, but your following seems to be over in Europe and stuff like that. What is it about the underground scene over there as opposed to here? Like, what do they got over there that we don't have? You know, like I've seen guys from the underground here, you know, name like Mercules and all them, but they've blown up now. But what is it over there? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, they were stuck in a time machine, man. Like when we first went there in 2012, they were in a time machine.
who, Europe?
Europe. It was like Back
Okay.
to the Future. It was the golden era out there. They were in a time machine. Like but they're also
Like, is this a good time machine or a bad one?
It was a great time machine for our group back then, Babylon Warchild, because it was like our sound. It was the golden era. So they had all the Wu-Tang memorized, but they were a caught up time machine.
Okay.
They had this almanac from the future where they had Babylon Warchild lyrics because they knew all our lyrics and Wu-Tang lyrics.
Nice.
So I was like, yo, these guys are crazy. But I don't know. But also I feel out there, it's the politics of the industry is different. It's a different type of monopoly. There's a lot of other countries, you know, so even if there is a monopoly within the politics of something, because that has to be said, man, I don't care anymore. Like, it's like I've been honestly blacklisted from this and blacklisted from that, but it doesn't matter like anymore, you know, because in reality, like I'm happily saying it with all love. It's like that's happened because of my choices. I chose not to work with this program, and that's okay if people work with that program. But I chose to work with another program.
But it's not for you. Every program is not for everyone. Yeah,
exactly. And it's working for everyone, you know, and best wishes to everyone doing their thing. But it's like, I think Europe has a more openness to what we're doing beyond the politics, because we just come in and out, you know. If I feel any artist, we could go to Colombia, do the same thing. We could go to India, do the same thing, like we did. But we end up going to China.
Yeah, that was your album Busking in Bombay.
Yeah, in Bombay and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Bombay, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. They messed it up. They call it Mumbai now, confusing everyone. But yeah, man, I feel like that was it, you know?
Yeah, nice, man. So like, yeah, it's just, so tell us a little bit more about Babylon Warchild and how they got started. And are they still together? Are you guys still together as a group or doing your own thing now?
Yeah, no, we're all doing our own thing, but Babylon Warchild's still Babylon Warchild.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like at any time, if we decide to come and do something, it's normal because Babylon Warchild's still Babylon Warchild.
Yeah.
But we're doing our own thing. And
okay.
So I've been working, I live in Vancouver, you know what I mean? Raph, I don't know what he's doing out there. It's like we all had our own.
Still in Canada or?
Everyone's in Canada, man.
Yeah.
Everyone had a little disagreements at certain times, blah blah. But after everything is actually blessed with everyone. Like legit's dropping mad music solo right now, and that's something he needs to do, because like his music's amazing, and so he's been dropping solo shit. KDB has also been exploring his artistry and dropping his solo shit. I've been doing the same. I'm pretty sure last I heard, Raph is working on video games. So it's like that's his thing, you know, like do your thing. But we as Babylon Warchild, we had a great run, but at this point, it's like, it just seems to be all of us are doing our own solo thing. But me and Legit do have something in the works called Warchild's Revenge, just a project. Nice. It's not really an official Babylon Warchild project, but it's just a project called Warchild's Revenge.
Nice, man, nice.
And
I remember watching a video years ago. I have to ask you about this. You know, you and Lord Luce did this in Toronto. It was when you guys were pissed off with Snow Goons. You know exactly what track I'm talking about?
Yes.
From what I've understood, Lord Luce is cool with them now. Are you cool with the Goons again, or?
Oh, that's like water in the bridge, man.
I understand. But what was that all about?
I'll explain it all. I have no problem. Like, I believe in the truth, man. People get so offended.
Yeah.
That's a lot where a lot of the blacklist comes from. Just honesty. It's like, it's like, everyone's offended, man. Just like, be honest. Like, who cares if you're offended for a minute?
Exactly.
So this is what happened. Like, first, before I say anything,
I used to watch that video over and over again. I just love the raw.
That shit affected my career, man. Like, straight up. That shit definitely affected my career. And it was, it's all good. Everything happened for whatever reason it did. But, I just recently interviewed Snow Goons on our radio show.
Oh, nice, man.
That was the last episode that aired on the actual FM station.
Oh, okay.
And, so I interviewed Manu, and I think it was Det, whatever. But it was dope. And, but what happened at that moment was, so Lus went to some show in Toronto. I'm not even going to speak for Lus, man. So, like, Lus went to some show in Toronto. Something happened with him. some misunderstanding that he could only explain, not me. And one
I
of
have an
Vinny
idea,
Paz's
but I'm
boys
not
punched
going to
him.
get into it either. That's not our position. So
I just feel like I can't speak for that brother. I
Yeah.
can only speak for me, right?
yeah, for sure.
I don't want to be involved in anyone's shit, man,
No,
except
no,
mine.
understandable, man.
Because I already have been. And it was like, so yeah. So he went and he got punched in the face by one of Vinny Paz's people.
Yeah,
And, he came back to the Babylon War Child studio because when he's in Toronto, that's where he goes.
yeah.
He came back to the Babylon War Child studio. I happened to go there that night. And he was there. He says the story. I'm like, what? Da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, cool. I hear the story. He wants to make a track. Nothing happens. It's like, I'm not down to make a track. We have shows happening. People tell me to not, that's the truth, all right? People tell me, and yo, anyone listening to this, do not take nothing personal. If you do, you're caught in yesterday, man. We're fucking post-COVID. You understand? This is post-COVID right now, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just explaining it as it is, and it's my perspective, you know? So if someone has a different perspective, then theirs is correct in their way.
That's on them.
Yeah. But yeah, so we started getting put on bills as usual, and then we started getting taken off of bills. I was blatantly told to not hang out with Lus. And at that moment, I told people that, why will I not hang out with Lus? Because he didn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but he did this, he did that. I'm like, but he didn't do anything to me. He didn't touch any
He didn't do anything to you directly, so.
He didn't touch any children, he didn't hurt any women, and he didn't do anything to me or my family. So I have no problem with him. You know, we build, we smoke blunts, and we make music. So that's it. And then no one's going to tell me who to chill with or not to chill with. And that's where I was at. And then we started even taking off bills. Someone got confronted at a show after we started getting taken off bills. I got punched in the face one day in Toronto by someone because of the situation by a bus stop. We went to a show after because of this situation. Someone else got trapped in a bathroom and nothing but physical happened, but we talked it out and it was supposed to end right there, you know? And it didn't end right there because we still kept getting taken off of bills. That's my bread and butter. That's my life, man.
Yeah.
Music. So at that moment, Lus was staying at the house. I'm an MC and I say, yo, let's run a battle track. I got something to say. My verse is strictly, so when people now, with that story said, when people hear my verse, I'm not, what Lus says out of his mouth is what Lus says.
Yeah, that's his opinion.
Verse.
Yeah.
And then my verse in that book, it's like a book with chapters. He wrote one chapter, I wrote the other. So my chapter is my opinion and my perspective of what happened in that moment. So if everyone even goes and takes a new listen to that song after hearing this explanation, which I appreciate you letting me give, you know, it would be great. Then people could get a better understanding of what's really going on.
What's the name of that song again?
Message to the Underground.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, it's Message to the Underground. Go check out it. There's a video on YouTube. Him and Lord Lewis.
Man, all I've done is given to the culture, bro. All I've done is given to the underground culture. That's all I've done. You know, that's been my legacy. That's what I do. It's like I have ups and downs. I'm an imperfect person, but I don't hide my imperfections. It's out there. I make music about my imperfections. And it's like, at the same time, I speak about my imperfections if I'm not strong enough to make a song about it at the moment. It's not coming out, you know? But all I've done is contributed to the culture. And during that moment, when I seen the heads really not be able to look at it like back in the day, I know it's like, you know, people are from different schools, but it was like, just to look at it like this is sport. It's like, all right, cool. Like these two are going at it. Who's going to come at them? No one came at us, man.
Yeah.
But videos started getting taken down. More shows started getting canceled.
Like this is after you guys put this video out?
After the video.
Oh, okay.
But no one rapped.
Yeah.
Nobody rapped.
Like a good old little battle.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm very disappointed in the heads, still till this day, for that. I am. You know what I mean? I'm very disappointed in the heads, and I'm very disappointed in the underground scene because it's supposed to be different politics than the commercial shit. But it's the same politics with no money.
Yeah, for sure. It's
And
just,
you know,
you got to grind it out in the underground. That's for sure. It's not like these
yeah,
other guys that get a 10, 15, $20 million paycheck handed to them and here, just do a couple albums this year and that's it.
yeah, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
and that's why that shit was fucked up. But that's what that shit was. And like when I speak, I speak emotionally in every topic. You talk to me about addiction, I
Yeah,
speak with emotion in it. When I speak about this, I speak with emotion. But
for sure. You can really feel it.
because I'm in it when I speak about it. It's like my music when I rap about it, when I write about it. But at the same time, it's like really putting it out there, not because I want to fakely squash anything. Because I
Yeah.
don't have time. We none of us have time for fake anything right now, right?
No, man, you got
So
to be real.
so it's like it is all love, man. And I think everyone should just build. And I think everyone, if all of us dropped our egos right now, it's gonna come out sometime when this podcast comes out, if people hear this and heads hear this and MCs hear this and they're like, yo, I want to say one message to everybody. If we drop our egos right now,
Nice.
including myself, and we actually work together, like we actually just share each other's work without being scared of sharing it. You know, we actually just build with each other. Like we actually just show real love to each other. Like take your sunglasses off when you speak to me. You know what I mean? Really, let's just be real. Stay
No, I feel you,
inside.
man. I
You're
feel
at
you.
home. You
Or you
need
got
your
these guys that go
sunglasses.
on, you know, that I'll
Uh,
be sitting on I've had video calls too. It's just like they have their sunglasses on talking to me. It's like, why do you have your sunglasses on? We're on a virtual call here.
yeah, man. Like, let's
But
stop being cool and let's really start working for the culture. We
yeah,
love screaming, it's for the culture. But what is the culture? We have to remind ourselves. Maybe this break is not good for also not only good for nature and the water clearing itself up. Maybe the culture could clear itself up.
it's
Maybe
funny.
the people who don't do it because they don't love it will stop doing it.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like funny you
You
say
know?
that about like the water cleaning up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's actually proof out there, like across Ontario at least, that I've been, I read once in a blue moon on the news. I don't really get too caught up on it anymore with all the shit going on, but the pollution levels have gone down because no one's driving around right now. Maybe we
Yeah.
could keep it going.
That'd be amazing, man. I
Yeah,
would love that. That's
but
like something we should keep in mind too, you know, even that nature shit. It's like we should keep that in mind. Like we went for a walk the other day. I don't know if I didn't notice them before, but I just noticed them this time or what it was, or if they're out now. But me and my girl were walking by the river. We live right by the river, and it's like we
nice.
see a snake following us, like
What?
for 20 minutes following us. We'll
It probably
walk a
just,
bit,
yeah.
it'll just move, and then it'll not just diagonal with us, it'll come towards us, man.
Wow. Maybe he's just looking for some love.
That's what I mean. I was doing
Yeah.
the snake whisperer sound too. I can't even expose that. I got to charge. That's the only thing I'm charging for right now.
So
Yeah,
you've
man.
lived all over
Nature
the
back would
world,
be
man. You've
nice.
been all over the world, lived all over the world, from what I understand. What is your favorite place and what's your least favorite place to be at or live in?
All right. Okay. The way our government is handling this right now, I'm going to take it off the list of least favorite place to live.
All right.
It used to be on there. There's been something, you know?
Yeah.
Grateful. And so the best place, let's start with that. Okay, no, let's go to the worst place so people forget by the time I talk about the best place. Honestly, I would never live in Slovakia, ever.
Did you though?
Ever. No.
Oh,
I've
okay.
been there many times.
Yeah. Why not?
And know many more. I love the people there that I've met. I love like the friends I've made there. You know, the hip hop shows I've been in and the circles I've been in are amazing. But yo, like you go to small towns out there, man. Me as like, I don't know, man. I don't fit in there. I'm just being honest. I don't fit
Yeah, yeah.
in. It's hard for me to live there, and I feel almost at danger in there from
You feel like
in that
walking on
place.
eggshells when you're there, sort of thing? Is that what you mean?
I feel like there's possible people out there that may not be bad people,
Yeah.
but may want to hurt me because they fear the unknown.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If that's politically correct, if that matters anymore.
Political correct enough for me. I don't give a shit.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So that's the place. I love the place though, but it's like, fuck. It's the why.
The
Like
culture looks nice and stuff, but you wouldn't live there yourself personally. So
no, man. It's the.
yeah.
I'll say more like even the police. Like that's the main part.
Are they
It's
pretty
like,
corrupt there, eh?
yeah, man. I feel like they could do anything and just leave you anywhere, man. Like the
Yeah.
way I was with my boy Phantom. Like he holds me down when I'm up there.
Yeah.
You know, it's love when we're up there with him. But like he's with me when the police come through. We went to the border by Hungary. The cops drive by. I'm in the car with the newspaper over my head because I'm like, I don't want to wait outside. That's how awkward I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. We're on vacation. It's summer. I have a newspaper over my head. We're on the side of Hungary by Kamarno. He lives by Kamarum, whatever. And then it's like, yeah. And that's where like the train, like the Auschwitz train ended. And you know what I mean? And there's a train station right there. So I'm there and I'm like thinking all these things, but I'm paranoid. I'm like, I can't hide myself right now. And then, these cops, as soon as I put the newspaper down, I'm not even lying. I open the door. Cops drive by. They see me. They screech backwards, come out and circle me. Wow. And if no one was there that knew the language, like something would have happened to me, man.
Most definitely, probably.
You know?
From what you're saying, yeah. Yeah,
so that's the least place. But if you want to do a hip-hop show there, go do it. The people are dope. Hang out in strictly the hip-hop communities. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'll keep
videos safe. In particular. Like you have lots of Slovakian guys you hang out with and do videos with and stuff from what I've seen online and stuff. So
they're the real like street dudes. They're like they're the hip-hop cats. They're the real
good old street urchins, eh?
Yeah, man. They just hold down the real culture out there.
Nice, man.
You know, it's the politics, man. It's no disrespect to the place, but that's what it is, you know?
Yeah.
I know some people might get mad at me for even saying it. I feel bad I said that right now, to be honest, but I said it. No taking it back. But it's like that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like I'm in danger.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places to live would be Greece, man.
Nice. I have lots of Greek friends, yeah, for sure.
Or Serbia.
Never been there before. Never been to Serbia, but I have lots of Serbian friends from where I grew up in Ontario too. So from the Kitchener area. So
I love that place, man. Serbia is beautiful, bro. Greece is beautiful. But Serbia has this like vibe because they just like recently opened the gates to tourism, you know?
Yeah, yeah. After all those years of that Cold War and all that war and stuff going on for many years, like all those, it was a crazy wild time over there, man. Like in the 80s and 90s and stuff there, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So much war out there, man. The UN even like bombed them and shit. And it's like, so I don't know, but that place there's something nice, so nice about it, man. It has such a nice community vibe. The weather's dope. Like the food's nice. Just if you don't want too much sauce, just say you want no sauce. Because if you ask for sauce, you're getting sauce, man. I'm telling you. They're not holding back. I feel like sauce is free. Like when you go to Serbia, I feel like they have sauce trees or something. Sauce is just like you get as much sauce as you want.
Nice. Well, I got a few. I call it the 5 questions of fire. You know, just 5 random questions, man. Just off the top of your head sort of thing.
Okay.
So, what's your go-to order at your favorite hometown restaurant, and what restaurant is it? I would go many hometowns, but
yeah. I would just go for the jerk chicken by Main Shaw's, Keelan Eglinton.
And where's that? Oh, in Toronto?
Yeah.
All right. What do you wish you would have known when you first started out in the hip hop world that you know today? You know what I mean? So
honestly, say nothing, speak up when everyone's listening.
Nice. What are you curious about right now in this instant?
Oh man, my brain's curious about so many things, man. That's a hard one to even answer. I don't know.
All right, we'll go to the next one. What is something you have failed at? Or you think you failed at? You know, I don't like using that word, but it's a good question.
The way I dealt with my relationship with the mother of my daughter.
Okay, fair enough. And is there anything I should have asked, but I didn't?
Nah, man. You actually asked some dope questions.
All right, thank you.
Like, I feel like we had a good conversation.
We did, man.
Yeah.
You know, coming up to the end here, but I'd like you to let the younger crowd know, you know, what's 3 things you could suggest for them to do so they don't go down the roads, you know, you and I went down and stuff like that. with mental health, addiction, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's 3 things that you would suggest or that you do to deal with yourself nowadays, to stay straight and narrow?
So just be conscious of your idle time. So be conscious of what you're doing when you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Would be one. Another one would be try to ask yourself one question over and over. I know it's hard when you're young, but maybe if you don't get it right now, it'll come back in you. This interview will come in your mind later. But a good thing to ask yourself, which I always often forget,
What's
is
one good thing that you ask yourself? Yeah.
what is your relationship to this moment? And then the third one would be, just don't worry about impressing no one, man. Like, just don't impress anybody. Don't even worry about impressing yourself. Just live, just be happy. Just be happy.
Exactly. If you can't be happy, man, then there's no point, man.
And I don't know how to do it. I'm still learning, but it's a lifelong process, and just focus on that though. Don't focus on impressing,
Yeah, no, I used to do that a lot, man, to get into different cliques too. Like you were saying, I'd have to go impress, I'm going to go do some dumb stuff, but you don't need to these days, man. People will see. It's like myself too. Like people were leery. I don't care. I'll put it out there on this podcast, but donating to my GoFundMe because of my past. But you know what I mean? I just got to prove them. Not that I have to prove anyone wrong. I don't owe anyone anything, and they don't owe me anything, man. Just through my actions, they will see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And lots of people are now, even my mom, she was leery. She's like, Chris, you better not be scamming people, but I'm not, I'm here doing this now. This is what I wanted to do for a long, long time, man. But I was stuck in my own little world, man, of fucking make believe shit when I'm all fucked up. But, to the grace of God, I'm not today. So, but it's been a great chat with you, man, and stuff.
Yeah,
and I
too,
really,
brother.
really appreciate it. And let everyone know your social media pages if you got any and stuff like that, where they can catch you or follow you, man.
Yeah, definitely. Let me look at this actually quickly. Yeah, so beta, BETA.CENT.co. So if you look up cent.co even, it's on that site, it's a decentralized type of platform like Facebook, and you actually get paid for your posts and your interactions in Ethereum.
Okay,
and
nice,
on there you could look at me. You could look me up as @unknown_misery. Instagram is @unknown_misery. Also follow Guerrilla Music Official on Instagram, and on SoundCloud, Guerrilla Music. On Bandcamp, Guerrilla Music. I don't know, man. My shit's not really organized.
That's
you know what,
good,
though?
Man.
GuerrillaMusic.ca is a good one to go to. It keeps getting updated.
You have your discography on there and stuff too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So you can find all my shit there. GuerrillaMusic.ca.
Nice, man.
There we go, man. I'm gonna make a bunch of weird music and release a bunch of weird music.
Nice. One last thing, man. If there's one hip hop artist we should be looking up to or looking out for in the near future, man, a young up and comer, who do you have off the top of your head, man? Or who should we go give a listen to today?
Canadian,
US, European, anyone, man.
542.
Okay, and can we find them on Spotify?
Not okay. So you can't find them on Spotify. If you go on Bandcamp and you go to 542 Odessa Trickmakers.
Okay, I'm gonna go check him out after
you will find him. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, man, and I appreciate everything, brother. You stay safe out in Vancouver there.
You too, man. Peace, brother.
Peace.